Good morning, everyone. Let's give Jeff another hand. You heard a little bit of him last night, but thank you again as we shared a few of our moments through our past history of celebrating our 50th anniversary. I do want to mention that in your packet, there's a little history booklet that our advancement office put together, Bob Carpenter in particular, and so you might want to take a closer look at that of our timeline, name changes, and all of that. So we're just happy to be 50 years old today, or this year anyway. We have a video that's going to be the majority of my program this morning that will give some history of our college. But I do want to recognize a few folks that are here today, and some were able to join us last night, but some were not. Rich Holder, NN Inc., CEO, please stand. Lee Shillito, our foundation chair. Lottie Rhines is also on our foundation, and she's on the First Tennessee Development Board. Mayor Lynch from Unicoi County, Unicoi City. Mayor John Clark, Kingsport, is here. Please stand. John Abe Teague, I believe, is coming. He may not be here yet, but he's on his way from Congressman Rowe's office. And Mayor Richard Venable, please stand, from Sullivan County. Also, as you know, it takes a village to put on an event such as this. All of our Northeast State folks, please stand and be recognized, because it's been a lot of wonderful work and coordination. And thanks to Cindy Christian and Pam Hand for leading the way. Please stand, and thank you so much for an outstanding job. Bare bones for our lunch today, barbecue. You're going to enjoy that. And there are some other options as well. We'd like to thank our foundation for sponsoring the reception last night. So Lee, thank you so much. Action Rentals for a tablecloth, Eastman, the Eastman Lodge at Bays Mountain, Pristine Springs for the water, Starbucks for the coffee, Jim and Sandy Powell for the dinner last night, and TCAT Elizabethton for breakfast this morning. And a special thanks to Walter State for letting us borrow their buses. And I'd like I know we're going to say this probably several times today, but thanks to Wade McCamey for his service and being such a good neighbor. Would you stand, Wade? Dr. Wade McCamey, president of Walter State, for a few more days. I would like to share the video, and then I'll have a few additional comments afterwards. So roll that video.
I grew up Fordtown, which is about, maybe 6.5 miles from here, between Gray and Colonial Heights. We went to Holston High School, just over here, and just across the road over here. And the school was being built my senior year, and I was wanting to take agriculture. But I enjoyed drafting in high school, so one of my friends, Wayne Kaufman, he was going here at the time. He had got enrolled, and so he seen me working on the farm, and he drove by and he said, you need to go up there and enroll. He said, that class is going to fill up if you don't. He said, you need to go up there and get in class. And so I came up here, and at the time that I did, I graduated from high school, and I had started the beard. And I walked in the front door, and Miss Byers said, you can't come here. And I said, why? She said, because you've got a beard. And I said, well, that shouldn't keep me from coming here. So Mr. Pierce jumped up out of his office. He said, you'll have to shave that beard if you plan on going to school here. So then that was my greeting when I came up here. So I shaved my beard. At the time, you had to take an aptitude test to see whether or not you actually could qualify to even get into the programs. And so I had to go take it, and so I got enrolled in the program. There was 20 of us in the program, 2 girls and 18 men, and two or three veterans that were in the class at the same time. And, you know, all it was just an area school. That was the content of the first school. It was just a small building. There was a big sinkhole out front. We'd watch the foxes play in it. And the ground was just all it was just like 30 acres with that little building sitting on it. The greatest achievement the school's made in the last 50 years is if you go around the community and ask all the people in the community where they got their education. All the people in this community, in Kingsport, Bristol, Johnson City, Elizabeth, Mountain City, all of these different places. We've got graduates, people in school here. They're making a living, raising a family, building a home, paying for it because of the education they got from the school. You know, that's really the biggest influence the school's made is the growth of this area because of it. The industry comes in whenever they've got trained people to work. And whenever you train students to have a skill, once they get that skill, then there's a demand to have employees. And so the industry, that's where industry moves into this area. So there've been a lot of industries moving in. To me, that's the biggest thing that the school has done. It's train people in this area, educated people in this area to work and stay in this area. For the most part, if you're raised in East Tennessee, you're not going to leave East Tennessee. So you have to have a job.
Well, the college was formed initially as a technical school in 1966. We went through a period of time when that's what we did. That was the only thing we did was provide technical training. And then Dr. Owens, Jim Owens came in with the mission and vision of converting this thing into a community college. That's a tough thing to do when you try to change 30 years of history. He made a good effort there, and then Dr. Powers came in and continued that goal of changing the image of the college. And then, of course, when I came, we had a specific goal that that's what we were going to do.
The beautiful thing today for me to tour the campus and see where you all have come in the last 31 years since I came is to know what impact you've had on the community and how you have carried out so many of these thoughts and so many of these plans and these strategic plans and made a difference in the community. So I'm proud of you and your accomplishments.
And for community colleges, you see, I think we are colleges that reach out into the communities. That's why we have the name community in our name. We're part of the fabric of that community. We offer people hope for a better way of life.
I just believe that there is so much potential in this whole area for Northeast State that my thoughts would be, I just hope you can continue to grow and serve the public and meet the educational needs of the community. I would like to see those new buildings built. I'd like to see those developed. But the important thing is that the school always remains true to its purpose of serving students.
Hey, I'm Mason Williams. I'm a first-time freshman here on campus, and I'm here to talk to you about the iPad initiative. Having an iPad as a student has been an amazing resource for me. Its small size and portability has enabled me to do word processing on the go and access all my textbooks wherever I am without carrying around a ginormous book like this. In the classroom, we do trivia activities to review all the content, and in groups, we can do extra research on our assignments. If I were a high school student right now, I would strongly consider coming to Northeast State and taking advantage of this amazing opportunity. Even if you're a non-traditional student, Northeast State is in the beginning stages of implementing iPad use across the entire campus.
My name is Anthony Adams, and I'm IT support specialist at Northeast State Community College, which is also where I got my start. If I could offer any advice to anyone out there that's looking to pursue their education, my advice to you is just do it. Once you talk to someone here, you will see how easy it is to communicate with the employees here, and they're very willing and helpful to get you on your way to pursue your student.
folks. I'm Doyle Lawson. Hey, have you got the winter blues? Well, there's a cure for that. It's bluegrass, country, and gospel music. So join me for a night of music that's sure to perk you up. Hey, we're raising funds to benefit Northeast State students. So gather up your family and grab your toe-tapping shoes and get on down to Northeast State's Performing Arts Center. It'll be a night of music that's just what the doctor ordered. And I'll see you there. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Flashing down the railroad track, blue smoke falling from the old smokestack. Go blue train, don't leave me behind. Blue steam starting from a blue choo-choo, wheels are running along some blues old blue train. On the heartbreak railroad line, blue train.
As a mother of two in my late 20s and through a lot of ups and downs, I still had a dream of going to college. On top of being a parent, I was working 60+ hours as a restaurant manager, and I didn't know how to get started. Northeast State Community College gave me that opportunity. After a degree from Northeast State, I'm now a graduate of Columbia University, and I'm pursuing my PhD at Harvard. Thank you, Northeast State, for helping me to believe in myself.
Don't mind, I'm going to do a little fiddle tune for you right here. And this is a real famous fiddle song, but you might not hear it too often on the piano. This is one called the Orange Blossom Special. Those are just a few Ray Charles licks to get a little warmed up. That's all. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Today we've got a group of students that are dual enrollment students from Sullivan County, both Sullivan East and Sullivan Central, who are working on certificates in machine tool operations and welding. So not only are these students going to graduate in May with their high school diplomas, but they're going to have these certificates that they can go into the workforce or move on into higher education and really get a jump start on their peers. They're going to be our first line of defense for closing up the skills gap.
Right now I'm cylindrically grinding to make my part match the print, and I think that if I were to pursue a career in this, it would really help, because I mean, I didn't know anything until I got into this class.
Well, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I didn't think that this would be a career I wanted to pursue, but I did it anyway to have a backup plan. Whenever I started in the class, I really enjoyed the work, so I decided to pursue a career in it.
Well, it's a little bit more hands-on. Time definitely goes by faster because you're busy. It's fun. It's really fun to do, and I recommend everybody to try it. I always like to work with my hands, stuff on machines and everything, cars and motorcycles.
It's just another option, but to me, it's a lot more than that, because I could come out of here and get a job and go to school at the same time and be making enough to pay my way through. So.
When I was younger, I got involved in welding probably 3 years ago because my cousin worked at Eastman as a welder, and I felt like it looked fun, looked cool, good way to make money. So I said, sounds like a plan whenever Central got their welding program. So I came here, got dual enrolled through Northeast State, and did all the work, tried my hardest, and now I'm here about to graduate with a certificate by the end of my senior year.
My brother mostly got me into it. I mean, we used to take apart cameras and all that, many things that got us in trouble, but we learned things from them. So I'm graduating with my welding degree along with my high school diploma. It means that I'm able to actually work on metal, pretty much weld parts together like a car frame. I've worked on lawnmowers, washing machines, multiple things, and ever since then it just stuck to me.
I will graduate from Northeast as a certified welder on top of my diploma from high school. It's a great program. I would advise anybody to join. If you feel like you want to expand your knowledge, great place to come to.
We are Northeast State. We are committed to excellence. We are 50 years strong. We are growing. We are community partners. We are innovators. We are educating the future. We are working for a better tomorrow. We are inspiring generations. We are just beginning. Northeast State Community College, 50 years.
A special thanks to Carson Wall, one of our alum who is now employed here as our videographer, producing this video. Thank you so much, Carson. Yes. We're about out of time and just wanted to make a few extra comments. We did receive the Pell Grant for high school students, one of 45 community colleges across the nation to receive that for the next 3 years to help promote just what you saw of students completing. We graduated 18 in welding and machining this last May. And along with Southwest also received that grant. We just received the adult education grant. We will be administering the adult education former GED HISET now in 8 counties in Northeast Tennessee, and thanks to Wade McCamey and his partnership in helping us get into a facility in Greene County. Thank you so much. As mentioned earlier, we're implementing the iPad, but we're flipping the bookstore. Students this summer are saving 75 to 80% on their textbooks through digital. And so along with the iPad, that is a great technology initiative. We also are proud of our RCAM. Many of you got to see that yesterday. We have 400 apprentices through Eastman and other companies that are coming to that site, and we're now having to expand. We have a new building and a new grant from ECD with our partnership with Eastman, the City of Kingsport, and Domtar, and the Chambers. So we're so proud of that facility in serving this not only Kingsport area, but this region. But again, thank you for being here today. It's an honor to have you, and it's a privilege to serve the Tennessee Board of Regents. Thank you so much. Chancellor Gregory.
Good morning. We will call the quarterly meeting of the Tennessee Board of Regents to order. My name is Emily Reynolds, and I am privileged to serve as Vice Chairman of this august body of talented people. I would argue after what we just saw that Northeast Tennessee Community College is 50 years young. You are on an upward trajectory, and that was an amazing piece, and we are just so honored to have had this time with you. Everywhere we've gone, I think, over the course of the last couple of days, and the many people that we've been able to touch, from faculty, staff, students, the care, the commitment, the compassion that you all have for this place is evident. So it is our honor to have spent some time with you. Thank you, Dr. Gilliam. I know Janice mentioned many of our VIPs in the audience, and we're so grateful to have had you here with us for the various events. But I want to give a special thanks to Mayor Richard Venable of Sullivan County for joining us. He is an old and dear friend. He is a practical politician and a great leader, and we are proud to call you our friend. Thank you, Mayor Venable. We appreciate you. And I also want to say just a word, and again, Dr. Gilliam mentioned this, but I know all of us had a great time at a very special evening last night. For us, when we travel to our campuses, seeing and hearing from our students helps underscore for us what it's all about, and we are all driven towards student success. And as the video said, it's about access and completion and community. So last night was very special with the students who performed the scene from Greater Tuna, which is one of my favorite pieces. And if Petey Fisk was here this morning, I'm sure he would say, "Let's talk about ducks." In addition, exactly. Oh, that's right. That's right. And the Jeff Little Trio, who we just saw again on this remarkable video, they were an absolute treat. And to think of that quality individual and talent who is attracted to come home and work for Northeast State is pretty amazing in and of itself. So once again, just a very special evening. So we thank you all. And not to mention that when we got back to our rooms last night, we had a fireworks display. That was a pretty remarkable lightning storm that moved through. So a remarkable end to the evening. With that, I want to take a moment to also recognize a new member of our board, and that is Jay Templeton, who is our state's Commissioner of Agriculture. Welcome. We are thrilled to have you with us. We all know that Julius Johnson, our previous Ag Commissioner, was a great supporter of this board, and Jay will follow in his footsteps. Jay, once again, a remarkably accomplished individual. He not only now serves as our Commissioner of Agriculture, having been deputy in that role, he is the former mayor of McNairy County. He is a sixth-generation farmer, which is so critical in our state's history. He understands rural Tennessee. He is a supporter of higher education, and he will be an invaluable contributor to us. Thank you for being here, Commissioner. So it's a pleasure to see you. With that, Madam Secretary, I think we are ready to call the roll.
Regent Apple?
Here.
Regent Deaton?
Here.
Regent Duckett? Here. Regent Farwell?
Here.
Regent Freeman? Here. Regent Griscom?
Here.
Regent Markham? Here. Regent McQueen? Regent Prescott?
Here.
Regent Reynolds?
Here.
Regent Roddy?
Here.
Regent Russell?
Here.
Regent Shockey?
Here.
Regent Smith?
Here.
Regent Templeton? Regent Thomas?
Here.
Regent Varlin?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Just a reminder to everyone that we do need to hit the push button there in the middle on our microphones to speak as we move throughout the morning. Our first order of business this morning, we have before us the minutes from our quarterly meeting of March 30, and then May 27, we had a special called meeting. I believe you've all had those minutes in our books. Does anyone have any changes or corrections? And hearing none, may we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Regent Thomas. A second? Second. Thank you, Regent Duckett. Any discussion? Hearing none, this is a voice vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much. Chancellor Gregory, your report on interim action.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. The report you have before you constitutes a record of the business that's been transacted by the Office of the Chancellor since the previous quarterly meeting of the board. And the report was included in the materials provided to you for this meeting. And Madam Chairman, pending any questions, I would recommend the board's approval of the report of interim action.
Thank you very much. Any questions for the Chancellor on the interim action report? If not, a motion to approve? Thank you. That was Regent
Prescott.
Thank you, Regent Prescott. A second? Second. Thank you, Regent Varlin. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Our committee reports. You have minutes from several committee meetings yesterday. We can take all of these in block with your approval. From our meetings yesterday, Academic Policies and Programs, External Affairs, Workforce Development Committee, and the Audit Committee. A motion to approve?
I move they approve all together.
Thank you, Regent Thomas. A second?
Second.
Thank you, Regent Markham. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Regent Markham, as chairman of our External Affairs Committee, would you present us the Region's Award for Excellence in Philanthropy?
Thank you, Madam Chair, Vice Chair. The Tennessee Board of Regents Award for Excellence in Philanthropy is a unique designation. It's given only to the most honored and devoted philanthropists for their support of the important work of the institutions throughout the TBR system. Today, we'll acknowledge 2 prestigious nominations by Austin Peay University and East Tennessee State University. On April 26th, Mr. Wayne Ard accepted the Regents Award for Excellence in Philanthropy. Dr. Alicia White, president of Austin Peay State University, nominated Wayne and his late wife, Mary Ann, for the award last fall. The award is honoring both of the Ards because, as a couple, they worked to make Austin Peay State University a stronger university. Their relationship with Austin Peay began in the late 1980s when the Ards volunteered to host gatherings in their home for fundraising events and to honor visiting dignitaries. Mary Ann went on to help organize the Candlelight Ball, a formal celebration that raises money for the university scholarships. And in 1989, Ard Construction built and sold a house, donated the proceeds to the university. In the decades that followed, the Ards continued to support Austin Peay, both financially and through service. The couple hosted popular gatherings to celebrate the achievements of the university, and Mary Ann remained a constant presence on several Austin Peay committees, including the Candlelight Ball Committee. Unfortunately, in December of 2014, Mary Ann Ard passed away after a lengthy illness. A few months after her passing, Wayne Ard made a major financial gift to Austin Peay to fund scholarships in Mary Ann's name for several generations of deserving Austin Peay students. Because of their generosity, the university is naming its new Student Health Services facility, which is currently undergoing renovations, the Wayne and Mary Ann Ard Building. The building is scheduled to open next year, but earlier this fall, Mr. Ard returned to the campus with a surprise. He was adding a significant amount to his initial gift. Austin Peay is fortunate to have benefited from a strong relationship with the Ards, and their generosity is making a significant difference in the lives of many, many students. For additional comments, I'd like to ask Austin Peay State University President Alyssa White to step forward to the podium.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Regents and Chair Markham, for this honor for the Ards. I'm really kind of overcome by thinking about the level of involvement that the Ards have had with the university, but not only that, the level of involvement that the university has had in this couple's lives together and then in their family. And I thought I'd take just a second to say that this is not something that I was able to do coming to Austin Peay. It's because of the investment of former President Oscar Page, who developed a relationship with the Ards in the late 80s and early 90s. That relationship continued through a number of presidents and vice presidents and directors. I had dinner with President Emeritus Sherry Hoppe Monday night. She had spoken to Mr. Ard that day. He is working through the grief of losing his wife, and Dr. Hoppe's written a book on grief. She still reaches out to him, and he reaches out to her. He has suffered a significant loss, and we are his family. He comes to our ball games. He's not a ball game fan. He is not a fan of the ball games, but he is there because we are his community. And he not only believes in our students, he believes in what the faculty and the staff do every day for students, and he wants to be part of that. And so I wanted to say how important this is to him, that you are honoring him in this way, but also how important it is to me to know that you value the relationships that we build with our community, and that those community members believe that we have institutions of value, and that we become truly a community of family, honoring students and helping students and changing the future. So thank you for giving him one more tie to Austin Peay and higher education in Tennessee. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. White. Any comments from the regents? All right, very good. The next Regents Award recipients are nominated by East Tennessee State University. The Tennessee Board of Regents are proud to recognize the Warren Broyles family and Roadrunners Market as recipients of the 2016 Regents Awards for Excellence in Philanthropy. The Broyles family and the Roadrunner Market were selected from a distinguished group of individuals and businesses that have invested in the future of Tennessee and the students we serve. The honorees' generous support of East Tennessee State University includes a recent $1 million gift toward the new football stadium, which is currently under construction. They've established a record for others to emulate that represents the greatest qualities of excellence in philanthropy. And their demonstration devoted to the university allows East Tennessee to reach new levels of quality and to make East Tennessee State University experience ever stronger for students from all across the region, nation, and the world. This kind of generosity reminds us of the good that can come when business and higher education engage in visionary partnerships. On May 18, 2016, Mr. Ryan Broyles and Ms. Kelly Ree were presented with the prestigious Regents Award for Excellence in Philanthropy with sincere gratitude and appreciation. These generous, kind people are the kind of people that, because of them, Tennessee students are blessed to have more opportunities to succeed, and we're grateful for them. For additional comments, I'd like to ask East Tennessee State University President Brian Nolan to step to the podium.
Members of the Board of Regents, thank you and good morning. It's my honor and privilege on behalf of the faculty and staff of East Tennessee State University to offer a little bit of context about Mr. Warren Broyles, his son Ryan, and his daughter Kelly. Just as President White referenced the family connections at Austin Peay and the sense of family across that institution, that family spirit runs through and embodies our university. ETSU was founded in 1911 for a singular purpose, and that was to improve the quality of life for the people of this region. And over the course of the past 105 years, we've been focused on that mission. In fact, more than 80% of the individuals who live within a 30-mile radius of Johnson City receive their bachelor's degree from ETSU. And there are few institutions in the state that can have a similar demonstrated impact. Mr. Broyles is an alum of the institution, but really the connections with ETSU trace back to former President Nix, former President Stanton, but my father-in-law, Sammy Fox. Mr. Fox and Mr. Broyles were childhood friends. They grew up in a poor rural community in East Tennessee, worked hard to create family-owned businesses and industries, and I've had the honor to learn of Mr. Broyles' childhood through my father-in-law, just as I've had the honor to learn of my father-in-law's childhood through Mr. Broyles. A true family connection in East Tennessee, and it's part of what makes this region special. Thank you for the opportunity to talk a little bit about Warren and his family.
Thank you, Dr. Nolan. Appreciate it. Any comments? None. Vice Chair Reynolds, that concludes my report.
Thank you. That was an excellent report, and our thanks to the ARDS and to the Broyles families. As President Nolan just said, this is a very special region of our state, and it was underscored in Dr. Nolan's comments about the Broyles' generosity and Dr. White's comments. What our system is about is students, community, and ultimately family in this great state of Tennessee. So thank you, Regent Markham. That was very touching. Well, our chancellor has been on duty now for not quite 6 months, 5 months and counting. Hair's a little grayer, maybe a little skinnier, but you're doing well.
Yes,
and we're proud to know you. Okay. So we will now turn to your report, and I think you might want to speak from the podium.
With your permission, I'd like to go to the podium.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, for those kind words. I just didn't want to feel like I had my back turned to any of you. I'm going to concede part of my time today to our student regent, Nick Russell, who is timing off of our board, and he's going to take just a few minutes and tell you a little bit about some of the work that he's done at Tennessee Tech. I thought it important, though, for me to speak to you directly today, and I will be brief, but I want to say to you essentially 3 things. The first thing is that the momentum inside our system continues. I'm not prepared to give you the results today. We'll do that in September, but the credential production across our sectors continue to increase. So as we talk a whole lot about college completion, as we talk about fulfilling the governor's mission to drive to 55, as we talk about student success, I want the board to have the sense that it is inside the fabric of the universities, of the community colleges, and the TCATs. And when I say inside the fabric, you drill down below the president, below the vice presidents, below the deans, and into the faculty, and you'll see the focus that we have in this system on increasing student success throughout our state. The momentum is there, and we'll objectively share that with you later, but I wanted you to have that sense as we talk about fulfilling the mission. We're on that trajectory. The second point I wanted to speak with you about today is about the Focus Act transition. And I want this board to have a sense that we are committed across the sectors to making a smooth transition within our system. In a few moments, you will hear Dr. White from Austin Peay talk with you a bit about the activities that the universities are engaged in to ensure that they are doing their portion to stand up their boards, to make sure that they are preparing themselves for this transition. Also want you to know that there is a tremendous amount of energy inside our own system to make sure that on an operational level, we're preparing ourselves for this, and also on an aspirational level, we are preparing ourselves for this transition. To each of you who gave your time to participate in our work session last month, I appreciate the time and effort that each of you spent. Those of you who were not able to make it on that day, I do want you to know that your voices are still very important to us as we move through this transition. We have, as you saw, arranged our work with some very distinctive categories. Mary Moody is leading our effort in looking at statutory issues and any issues that we uncover that may have been left out in the Focus Act. I'm leading a group that will look at governance. We're looking at our finances, and Dale Sims is leading that group. James King and Warren Nichols together are leading a group on alignment. Dr. Tristan Denley is leading our group on continued collaboration. and Ms. Monica Greppin-Watts has been leading our group on continued communications. So we are about dividing our work up. We're about approaching it systematically, and we will make a successful, smooth transition. Russ Deaton and I are not only personal friends, we're professional colleagues, and each of us are committed to each other to make sure that as the functions, some of the functions move from our system to their system, that it will be done as smoothly and as seamlessly as possible. So together, we are working on timeframes, we're working on procedures. We received a suggestion from Regent Griscom at our work session that maybe this board and the commission meet together at some future point during this transition so that everyone feels connected. This is a challenge, and the challenge is one of communication and coordination. And so making sure that everyone feels a part, making sure everyone is getting their questions answered, making sure that everyone knows that they have a voice is critical, I think, to us all. And then finally, Madam Chairman, my third and final point is that transitions take a while. And so I leave that thought in your mind that there are benchmarks set for us by statute that we will meet. There are time frames that are being established for institutional boards to be stood up, for them to take on their own responsibility. But this takes a period of time in order for us to move into what will be the next generation of the Board of Regents. Just wanted to give you the sense that from the Chancellor's perspective and from the senior team and from those others who are all working on this, that we're committed to do this in a professional and smooth fashion, and we're underway, and things seem to be going very well, and I think you'll hear that from Dr. White in a moment. So thank you for the privilege of giving you this report, and may I concede part of my time to Regent Nick Russell.
Thank you, Chancellor, for the opportunity to speak. For those who don't know me, my name is Nick Russell. I'm a mechanical engineering major at Tennessee Tech University, and I've had the pleasure to be the student regent, so thanks for letting me speak to you today. I'd like to thank Sanja. About 2 months ago, I was talking to her on the phone, and I was just giddy with excitement about different initiatives I was involved with, and she said, you should write this up and maybe talk about it at the board. So I wouldn't have ever brought this up if it wasn't for her saying I should, so I'd really like to thank her. 4 years ago, Tennessee Tech joined the Pathways to Innovation program, which is a national program funded by the NSF, which took on a select group of engineering schools with the goal to help them make more of an impact in the economics of the region. So since joining that Pathways to Innovation program, Tennessee Tech, again, is the only school in Tennessee that was accepted into the program. We've had a lot of really incredible advancements in the innovation ecosystem. So just a couple of those are, we have a 6,000-foot makerspace. It's got advanced manufacturing equipment, virtual reality equipment, all the way to sewing machines and handheld 3D printers where students can go and create and be innovative. We've had several innovative classes launched, like Lean Launchpad, which is a curriculum that we adopted from Stanford, and student teams have implemented to try to form companies, as well as a class between nursing students and engineering students where they try to do innovative biomedical projects. We have a Business Foundry, which is a partnership through Launch Tennessee that's directly across from our STEM Center, where students can rent office space and try to create companies. We started an EagleWorks competition, which is essentially a venture capital pitch competition where thousands of dollars of awards are given away, and this year's keynote speaker was Damon John, which is a real pleasure to hear from him. One of the initiatives that I've gotten the pleasure to be involved in is University Innovation Fellows, which is a fellowship through Stanford University, where we do several months of training and then go to California for 5 days to do training at Stanford, Google, as well as Microsoft. And this year there were 150 fellows across the nation, and Tennessee Tech was the only school in the state that had fellows accepted, and we actually had 3 in the program, which is really an incredible accomplishment. This summer at Tennessee Tech, we have a research experience for undergraduates with 19 students, kids who came from across the country, and the REU is really unique in the country because it's actually focused on entrepreneurship. So the topics are advanced manufacturing, smart cities, but then how can we capitalize and create commercial projects with the research. Recently, we're also, Tennessee Tech is the only school in the state that was accepted to I-Corps and I-Corps L, which are NSF programs that give students give money to student teams who want to take research that NSF has funded and create companies out of it. Whenever we're talking about entrepreneurship, I think it's important to talk about the why, because if we're just doing this to create a $1 billion app, then probably no university should be in the business because we may not succeed. But I think there are 4 really incredible outcomes that I've gotten to witness at Tennessee Tech that I think all the work we've done makes it worth all the work that we've done. So first, friendships and relationships have been built that would have never before been possible. So from the most geeky, stereotypical computer scientist to the jock business person to the artist, all these people come together, work together, form friendships, and really create a unique community within the entrepreneurship sector. We built relationships with industry and alumni that would have never been possible. From our pitch competition, most of the money that comes in is from alumni donations. Also in the entrepreneurship classes, we have alumni and business people come to teach and speak that weren't associated with the university before they had this outlet to come in partner. There's cross-training that goes on between business, engineering, art, agriculture, all the other sectors of our university have to collaborate to form these entrepreneurial teams, and it creates cross-training that's really important to industry. And lastly, it prepares students for innovative and high-tech fields. So I know in my own job search, whenever I talk about the entrepreneurship experience, it's very valuable to even established companies because they're looking for entrepreneurs who can go in and create new business lines within industry. I think it would be great if some of these same initiatives could be implemented across the community college. I think it'd provide a lot of value. I think it's important that the board continues to fund some of these initiatives because completion is great, but so is research, so is entrepreneurship, so are the arts. They really add a lot of value to student lives. And I'd like to conclude just thank you for allowing me to speak again, and pending any questions or comments, I'd like to turn my time over. Thank you.
Any questions, comments for Regent Russell and our Chancellor? Got your first investor, that's good. Excellent. I've never heard the term intrapreneur before.
Yeah, I got a corporate internship at Whirlpool last summer, and they were actually really impressed with my entrepreneurship experience. And all the large companies, especially in manufacturing, whether it's GE or Whirlpool, they kind of realize that great ideas don't come top down, they come from the bottom. People who live in the real world or who are able to solve everyday problems that are going to be mass market. So a lot of companies aren't looking for kind of like just someone they can plug into a role. They're really looking for somebody who can contribute excess value. And so that's become kind of like a popular business term the last 5 years or so.
Interesting. Anything for the Chancellor? Good report. Keep us focused. You're obviously very focused, you and the team, for which we're very grateful. And Nick, we will honor you a little bit later, but suffice it to say, you never cease to amaze us. We all look forward to hearing great things from Nick Russell. So you must keep us posted.
Well, I really appreciate your kind words and your help through the past year.
We appreciate you. Chancellor, would you set us up now, please, for our reports from our presidents and directors? Staying on this same theme, right, of our system momentum.
Yes, Madam Chairman. Today you'll hear reports from Dr. Lisa White, Dr. Karen Boyer, and Mr. Dwight Murphy. And each will talk with you about successes that are going on in each of our sectors, as well as a report on transition activities that the universities are engaged in.
And I believe, if I have my order correct, we will hear first from Dr. Boyer on our our community colleges. And here she comes, all the way from Dyersburg, Tennessee. Oh, good. Good morning.
Madam Chair, Vice Chair Reynolds, and members of the board, and Chancellor Gregory, and our General Counsel. I have reinforcements here that I'll be speaking in just a moment, but wanted to reflect just briefly on coming back to Northeast State Community College. I think I first came here when it was a Tri-Cities State Technical Institute sometime in the 1980s. And then it became a community college in 1990. So I think all of us in the last day or two have witnessed what a true comprehensive community college can be. It's really grown into that with all the technologies, all the arts and sciences, the public service, all the partnerships. So it's wonderful to see, and we're not all quite to that stage in Tennessee, but I think we have the, really the potential to get there. One of our major successes this year is because of the Tennessee Promise Scholarship Program. And it's allowed a lot of Tennesseans access to higher education that never had it before. And of course, it was Governor Haslam's initiative, major initiative of his administration, but a very key person that has helped make it happen across the state, really, that's worked tirelessly with all of us in the community colleges and the TCATs. And she's worked at this position since 2008 as executive director of our Tennessee Achieves program, which is a major partnering organization with the Tennessee Promise. So I'm going to turn it over to Chrissy De Alejandro, and she's going to talk about, maybe briefly, what happened this first year and kind of looking ahead what we have to anticipate for 2016-17. And she has a great example of a person who's with her, who also who has benefited from this dream of many of us, and particularly the governor. So, Chrissy, you want to lead off?
Good morning. I'm thrilled that Dr. Boyer asked me to briefly speak with you about the momentum and the progress that's been made around Tennessee Promise since we launched with the class of 2015, and talk a bit about the 16 class and how we're looking forward to working with next year's class. I'll be very brief. I can also take any questions if you have those. I think my responsibility today is to actually introduce you to Katie. But nonetheless, my 6-year-old, when something surprises him, he says it blows his mind out. So I can tell you that the progress with Tennessee Promise has blown my mind out, considering when we launched the program in 2008, 496 students applied to Tennessee Achieves. So fast forward to 2015 when we had 56,000 students across the state applying. It's been an incredible adventure, an amazing journey. And what we've found, much I think to the surprise of many, is that new students have been brought to the post-secondary pipeline, which ultimately was the mission of Tennessee Achieves and now Tennessee Promise. I'm sure Dr. Deaton has shared with you the 4.6% increase in the college going rate, which is more than the last 7 years combined. It's truly remarkable. For us, for Tennessee Achieves, it was always about sending the student to college who would otherwise not be attending, that first generation, lower to lower middle income student who never had Tennessee or college on their radar. I'll tell you, on the drive up here with Katie, she was talking not only about herself but about her friends, that this has really changed the culture in high schools. So while the numbers are incredibly important, and I'm happy to share those with you, I do think that there is a significant culture shift happening in the high schools, in the homes of families, where I often say it, but it's about where you're going to college, not if you're going to college in Tennessee. And it's been fun traveling the country the last few months, and Tennessee is the model. The work that's happening at your institutions, the institutions that you support, are the model. And I was in Indianapolis on Wednesday, and someone said, Tennessee, who would have thought? But nonetheless, here we are, setting the example, which is exciting for me. I will tell you that we're working closely with the class of 2015 to be a partner to your institutions. Essentially, we want to be an extension of the work to ensure that you have those high retention and completion rates we know that are essential to reaching that Drive to 55 goal. So we're continuing to communicate with those students the deadlines, but also talking about the why. Why is it important to earn a post-secondary credential? So important to the work to remind those students the critical nature of not just going, but completing. So that's really the work around the class of 15. The class of 16, we have nearly 33,000 students who remain eligible at this point. As you know, we do have those team meetings with mentors, and thank you for those of you who mentor in the group. We're working now to ensure the students meet that August 1st community service deadline, as well as that all-encompassing financial aid verification deadline. We are 5% higher in terms of the number of students who remain eligible from the class of 16 than we were at this time last year. I think they just get, when we say mandatory, we mean it. There's no rocket science to that. Looking forward to the class of 17, there have been changes to the free application for federal student aid, and we're working tirelessly. Our board chairman has tasked us with a 90% FAFSA filing rate for students across the state. We're roughly around 63 as a state, but if Randy Boyd says go do it, we sort of kill ourselves to try to get it done. So we're working tirelessly to ensure that students are not only meeting Tennessee Promise goals, but we just want them going somewhere. So sharing that message with students across the state, I think, is incredibly important. Questions before I introduce you to Katie?
I just don't know how you and your team do all you do. It is amazing. And I had a question from one of my students the other day, called my regional person and left a message, and then thought, okay, I'll email too just in case, because these are busy folks. I barely had time to type the first line of an email before she was back on my phone, giving me a call back to give me advice. And the other thing I would add is, I think the changes you made for mentors this year, I feel like my relationship with my two students is so much more productive because we came in later in the process. So kudos for that change. At least from my experience, it feels like it's working.
Thank you. I have an amazing team. That's how we get things done. They work tirelessly 70 hours a week, and I don't know why they do it. I think they just really believe in students, so thank you for that. And yes, we're very excited about the mentor shift. We're really looking forward to seeing if we can make some gains in retention and completion by introducing that mentor in a structured kind of way once the student lands at the post-secondary institution. What we found is in high school, specifically for first-generation students, they don't know what they don't know yet. So bringing them back together in a structured sort of way with the mentor, I think will help tremendously. So we'll run those numbers and see how that looks, and happy to report that out to you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Chancellor?
I'm probably not beyond embarrassing Chrissy, but I can't help but take this opportunity just to express my appreciation for the work that you have done and your team as well. This is like taking a program from 0 to 80 in a very short period of time, and the expertise and energy that you led and to allow this to happen is just absolutely incredible. The fact that from year 1 to year 2, you listened to lessons learned and you took those things out and implemented them into year 2 is a real credit to the fact that you hear, you listen, you adjust, and you tweak. And it's just a tremendous accomplishment, and I'm proud of the work you've done.
Thank you, Chancellor. That means the world to me. Fantastic. Well, on to the reason I really feel like I'm here is to introduce you to Katie Townsend. Katie is from the inaugural class of Tennessee Promise. She graduated from 2015 from Alcoa High School. I can tell you much about Katie in terms of she made the Dean's List this year. She has aspirations to be a teacher. But what I found is Katie came to me on a snowy day in January, frantic, I think, a little bit about her financial situation around Promise. And what has grown from that is a true friendship. I've learned so much from Katie. She is a truly lovely, wonderful person who comes from such a giving family. As we drove up today, she was telling me that she currently lives with her parents, her sister, and 7 foster children that they've brought in under really unbelievable circumstances. But she is a bright, shining light who I am so proud to call my friend, and I want you to hear more about her. So, Katie, and she's not nervous.
And like Miss Chrissy said, my name is Katie Townsend, and I graduated from Alcoa High School in 2015. My mother, she went to college, however, she did not earn a degree, and my father went straight to work after high school. My family does not suffer by any means, however, I grew up with this idea in my brain, instilled in my brain, that sports were the only way I was getting to college. That was it, you know, so And then I heard about Tennessee Promise about my junior year, and I was like, oh, I don't have to play volleyball anymore, what? And so I have one sibling. I have a real sibling. I have 7 foster siblings, which they're my own now, it feels like. But my sister's older than me. She's 2 years older than me. And as any sister, I always looked up to her in everything. And I saw her, she's so smart, and I saw her graduate high school. And she tried out college, and just the funds were not there. And now she works at Walmart full time, and I see her living from paycheck to paycheck in this little house, you know, splitting rent with a friend. And I'm like, gosh, if it wasn't for Tennessee Promise, that's where I would be, living paycheck to paycheck. She has no clue what to do about her future or anything like that. And so Tennessee Promise has just given me and many other young people like myself just a chance to have a future. They've definitely given me my future. I still to this day, Chrissy D'Alejandro has become a mentor to me, like she said, more like a friend than a mentor now. Like she said, there was a time I called her. I lost a scholarship due to some financial issues, and I called her, and one thing that I'll always remember she told me was, just go to school, just go to class, and don't worry about the financial part of it. She was like, we'll figure it out. You've done all that you need to do for Tennessee Promise. You've done all your requirements, so don't worry about the money, just go to class. And for me, that was really reassuring to not have to worry about the financial part of school and just to be able to go to school and get an education. Tennessee Promise has, like I said, they've given and continue to give young people like me a chance to become successful. They've given me a future, and for that I'm forever grateful for. My plans are to become a K-6 teacher. I want kindergarten or first grade, but there's just something, I chose to be a teacher because there's just something about seeing a child's eyes light up when they learn something for the first time that really touches my heart. And so, like Chrissy said, we have all those children that live with us, and I just love them so much. And so I think the biggest thing, though, why I want to become a teacher is because I want to be able to make a difference in children's lives, like Tennessee Promise has definitely made a difference in mine. So I think without Tennessee Promise, I know that I wouldn't be able to go to school without being in a lot of debt. And like I told Chrissy on the way here, my friends, definitely, I've heard so much stuff just in high school, people I didn't even know. Tennessee Promise has definitely made a difference in so many lives of people my age and continues to do the same thing. So I'm really glad. Thank you.
Thanks to both of them. What a wonderful way to hear about what's happened, at least in the inaugural year of the Tennessee Promise, and to think about all the young people in Tennessee. You know, 85% of them started at community colleges. There were, I think, 16,256 or so that began last August in the very first year. So hearing from someone like Katie and Nick Russell, you know, the future is looking real bright, I think, for Tennessee. And so this was the inaugural year, and we're also hearing about a 50th year here at Northeast State. So you can imagine the thousands of people that have had opportunities like Katie or Nick and what they're doing. We've seen some of them in the video. But I wanted you to hear from a couple of the alumni. They're recent. And last night, I know we met Victoria Hewlett, and she's here this morning. And Beth Ross we saw briefly, but I think we're going to look at a quick video and then hear directly from Victoria for a few minutes. So. We're going to have just a little change in plans here and wait for the video to queue up here. But Victoria is she's going to be, and she knows what she said in the video, but she's going to add to that and tell you about herself. But starting out with getting a GED and now being accepted to Yale. She's about to get there, I guess, this fall, so quite a story to tell, and again, wonderful success. So Victoria, why don't you come and talk about that, and then we'll see the video. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Borner. When I first stepped foot at Northeast State Community College, I really wasn't sure what to expect. I had been a high school dropout for 2.5 years, and that is what I thought of myself as. While I'd always been a good student, I was nervous. It had been a long time since I had been in class. I had a lot of the same worries as the other incoming freshmen. Had my 3 years of being a restaurant shift manager made me lose my ability to study, and I was really right there with the people that had a break in their education. You know, what was this going to be like for me? I was excited, but I was nervous. So those first days were a little uncertain, but I quickly found a place here to call my own, and I soon realized what a good decision it was to come to a community college. All around me, I was seeing that this student body was not only representative of people straight out of high school, 18-year-olds straight out of high school, but this student body also represented our community's mothers, fathers, seniors, dual-enrolled high schoolers, and everyone in between. Some of us had experienced challenging backgrounds that the rest of us could learn from, but we all had one thing in common. We were made up of people who had a passion to pursue their goals, and that's why they were coming here to Northeast State. How enriching this education was, as one that allowed us to learn side by side with people from all stages and all walks of life, the people who make up the real world around us. As time went on, I integrated more and more with this beautiful community. I began to see that there were more opportunities here than I could have ever imagined when I first enrolled in my classes. These opportunities ranged from leadership development to professional development to community service projects. They were opportunities to gain confidence and learn how to work with others to create an impact. They were opportunities to learn more about and work actively in my academic field of interest. But most of all, they were opportunities to give back to my community and to learn what it means to work for something greater than myself. These personal and professional transformations that I experienced in Northeast State are absolutely unparalleled in my life. Never did I believe in my own ability to impact and change the circumstances around me in the way that I did when I first started here at Northeast State. Never would I have believed that I could help lead a political organization in my region, and never would I have believed that I could get up and speak in front of a crowd without turning into a puddle on the floor. Never would I have believed that I, a low-income high school dropout, could have ever been accepted into Yale University, but also be offered full tuition to attend. But I am not the only one that has been changed by this institution. I'm certainly not the only one to be changed by community colleges across the United States. In my own time here, I have time and time again heard from fellow students who have told me that Northeast State has helped give them the confidence they needed to reach for their own goals. At the same time, other outside organizations like Phi Theta Kappa and the Jack Kent Cooke Foundation work to support and enhance the experience of community college students here and abroad. Community colleges represent so many of the great things about our country. They represent the people who inhabit America, from all ages, ethnicities, backgrounds, sexualities, and income levels. They also represent that ever so elusive American dream. Community college is not only where high school graduates and high school dropouts begin their academic career, it is also where the people of our communities across America go to better their lives and to seek to realize their aspirations. So I thank the faculty and staff of Northeast State and every community college across this state for the incredible dedication that you have had for all of your students. I send my thanks to the state of Tennessee for seeing the worth and importance of community college and investing in their students before the rest of the country did. And of course, I send my thanks to everyone here as representatives of the Tennessee Board of Regents for the never-ending hard work you put in to make sure our community colleges are supported and well-equipped to serve the people of our state. May we continue to support the institution of community college, which does so much to enrich the lives of so many. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow.
Thank Thank you, Victoria. And just now, a brief video of Beth Ross, another alumna of Northeast.
Hey there, it's Beth Ross. I'm so excited to be back on Northeast State's campus for Fall Carnival. It's wonderful to see so many new students here taking advantage of Tennessee Promise, where they're getting their 2 years of education for free. It's also great to see so many students with iPads in hand thanks to Northeast State's new initiative. I'm starting my senior year at Columbia University, and I know that every day that I'm there because of my time at Northeast State. The faculty and staff gave me a great education. They provided me with mentorship and leadership to follow. I was able to take advantage of Northeast State's state-of-the-art facilities and everything else that they have to offer their students. And no matter where I am, Northeast State will always be my home. Welcome to you, new freshmen. You're going to enjoy your time here. I hope you take advantage of all Northeast State has to offer, just like I did. And one day, Northeast State will be your home, too.
Okay, and a couple final things. A farewell to our colleague and friend, Wade McCamey, who's leaving the presidency of Walters State Community College the end of this month. And he and his team have really built an impressive community college here in East Tennessee. And also our thanks to Janice Gillilam for a tremendous board meeting. I think we're all going to leave here tapping our toes, all this great music, but also impressed with all the technology and other things that they do. And Janice will be succeeding me as the reporter next, starting in September for the 16-17 year for the community colleges. So that's our report. I'd be happy to respond if there's any questions or comments. Okay.
Well done. You
Thank you.
outdid yourself this morning. Thank you. Thank you for your leadership, Karen. And each meeting we get the reports from our schools. It's Victoria graces the cover of our community college report this quarter. So be sure to take this home and read it carefully and closely. So Victoria, well done. Katie, well done. We're so excited for your futures. You've touched our hearts this morning. And Chrissy, again, you and the team, amazing. We thank you. I believe we're now ready to hear from Director Dwight Murphy on our Colleges of Applied Technology. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Madam Chair and Regents and Chancellor Gregory and my peers. Boy, it's tough. They had not only lined me up before one student, two students, and Chrissy. Following this act is about as hard as it gets. I would call your attention this morning to the TCAT news that's on your desk. There's some interesting stories in there. The Chancellor's Award for Philanthropy's in there, where Haas Foundation donated over $200,000 to 16 of the TCATs across the state. They have made such an impact on our machine tool program. Much of that has gone to scholarships for students, so we would call your attention. 3 TCATs have sort of gone out of their regular arena here recently. Starting July 1, we'd like to compliment TCAT Jacksboro. They have just taken over LWDA4 Youth Council over Anderson, Blount, Campbell, Cumberland, Loudoun, Monroe, Morgan, Roane, and Scott counties. This contract is for $800,000. This is a first for a TCAT in the state. Of course, Interim Director Petrie, we commend her. She has that background, and she wrote a very powerful presentation, RFP, and was awarded that. We'd also like to commend Stuart Smith, TCAT Athens, that just got the adult education for 10 counties. That's about a $1.1 million contract, and we commend Stuart and his group. And the group in Knoxville just got a $1.9 million adult to take over 16 counties in Region 2. So we're busy out at the TCATs. I would tell you that we have a 20% increase in enrollment over last year at this time. The Promise and the Reconnect has been very successful, and Regent Reynolds had made fun of me because I said we're hanging them from the rafters. We got them everywhere. We got night programs. We've got off-campus programs, but we are accommodating, Regent, the promised students on satellite campuses around. Our fall enrollment was, as I said, up 20%. We had 19,796 head count. We had 13,994 FTEs, and we trained over 4 million hours. And to be precise, we trained 4,198,167 hours. That's quite an accomplishment for 27 colleges. Our institutions were up to the task. The data is showing from THEC that we had, of our promised students, 95% of them have been retained. Some schools have 100% retention on these students. I think we all were concerned, would they stay? And man, they've stayed, they're completing, and they're being successful in what they're doing. The Tennessee Reconnect program has offered a similar opportunity for the adult learners. Today, we're here to talk more about the Reconnect. It's opening doors to second chance folks. Had a young man in my school the other day that had a bachelor's degree, and I talked to him, and I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm coming to get me an HVAC diploma at TCAT Knoxville because I want a job." And so we're seeing a lot of those folks and a lot of the folks that have been underemployed coming back as Reconnect students. It provides that adult learner an affordable and flexible post-secondary opportunity. Today, you're in for a real treat. I have with me Sandra Timberlake. She is a Reconnect student at TCAT Nashville. Not only is she the Reconnect student, she was selected as Outstanding Student of the Year for the 27 TCATs out of the 19,000 plus students. Sandra was selected as our face and representative this year for the TCATs. She is an administrative office technology student. She's going to graduate in August. She's already employed by St. Thomas Health Service, and she's using her TCAT skills already. Sandra, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Be grateful for the obstacles in your life, for they have come to strengthen you as you continue on your journey. Author is unknown. I am truly humbled that I get this chance to share some part of my journey, a time for a career with technology education. It begins when my children and I moved into the projects. Obstacle. Because of the unsafe environment, I came up with some very simple house rules. Number one, I am mama. Number two, tough times don't last. Tough people do. And number three, if you cannot see the front porch, you've gone too far. Get back. Refer to rules number 1 and number 2. Upon moving in, I noticed some things that just did not sit well with me. Neighbors who I saw in my neighborhood, there of 12 units, 7 of these families were related. But what caught my attention more than anything else was the fact that, again, in my row of 12 units, 7 of these parents were related. Then to hear a mother tell her 17-year-old daughter, who was 6 months pregnant and 2 months shy of her 18th birthday, say, "Baby, when you turn 18, you can have your own project." Now, as much as I love my daughter, I refused to allow her name to come into my head at that time because I was afraid of my thoughts. It was in that moment that I decided I've got to break this generational cycle. And being a woman of faith and knowing that with God, nothing is impossible. Obstacle, no job. Opportunity, in 1999, I graduated from St. Thomas Health Services Welfare to Work Jobs in Healthcare Training Program. Today, I stand before you as a 17-year veteran of St. Thomas Health Services. Obstacle, living in the projects. Opportunity, in 2004, it was with gratitude, love, and sincere appreciation that I was able to purchase a home created for my family in partnership with the Nashville area Habitat for Humanity. Obstacle? Weighing over 230 pounds with health issues. Opportunity? In 2012, I graduated from the New Beginning Center. Now, this program was to prevent and stop behaviors that led to obesity and other related diseases, to which I was one of 4 in a pilot group study. It was in this program that I eliminated 4 of the 5 medications I took daily, and it gave me the audacity and the courage to complete the St. Jude Music City Half Marathon. Obstacle? Stuck in a job I cannot advance unless I have the current essential technology skills needed to compete in a competitive marketplace. Opportunity? September of 2015, I entered Tennessee College of Applied Technology, Nashville, TCAT, in Visa to the Reconnect program. I chose the Administrative Office Technology program to make me a better and more valuable employee as I continue to pursue my career in leadership management with St. Thomas Health. I chose the TCAT program due to the financial safety net of the Reconnect program and the ability to complete it within a timely manner. But what I did not expect were the benefits of going to a TCAT college. My program teaches the whole person, not just the rigorous, rock-solid academics, but effective communication, soft and hard skills, and universal relationships using technology as a tool. A career in technical education for students in Tennessee will not only improve our employment potentials and economic possibilities, but it will enhance the quality of our lives. And for me, it brings out that I can mentality as I continue to leave that legacy of self-sufficiency for my children and others. I now add to the list of opportunities I have participated in TCAT Nashville and technology education. They have impacted my personal mission. It is my personal mission and purpose in life to help underserved people break those generational patterns by peeling back the blinders that have become the norm, offering practical and spiritual solutions to life's toughest and most challenging circumstances. I like to say that I am proud to be a student of a system that has been visited by Bill Gates and recognized by him as the one of the 2 systems in the country that are doing it the right way. What else can a student, an adult student, returning to school ask for? So I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for playing your part in the opportunities that TCAT has provided as I continue on my journey, a time for a career with technology education. Thank you.
Well, this morning, you've seen a face of promise and reconnect. It's working. Chancellor, it's a fabulous program, and we're seeing great results. In conclusion, we want to thank Northeast State for the wonderful hospitality and the great breakfast provided by TCAT Elizabethton this morning. I want to wish my dear friend, my old friend Wade McCamey, a wonderful retirement. And think I speak for all our directors. We're happy this morning that Vice Chancellor King is with us and that he did not go north on us. And so, Vice Chancellor, we're glad you stayed with TCATS. We need you. You've done a great job. So thank you for staying. Madam Chair, subject to questions, this concludes my report.
Any questions or comments for Director Murphy or Sandra?
Ivan Jones will be taking over next time, so thank you for allowing me to chair.
Regent Prescott, don't go anywhere just yet.
Yes, thank you, Vice Chair. I would just like to say that hearing from students this morning has really added to this meeting, to be able to see the impact in the lives of those students that we're serving. It's really been uplifting for me, and I'm sure it has for the other board members. But thank you all, both of you that have brought students in to talk with us.
Other questions, comments? Thank you.
Thank you. Sandra, good luck. Thank you. You have strengthened all of us this morning. So I'm going to go home and be more courageous. So you are amazing. Congratulations. We are so proud of you. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Dr. White, come report to us on our great four-year universities.
Regent Prescott, I too am inspired. I don't know whether to try to steal these students or take up an offering, but I can do any of those. I loved it. Maybe both. So Vice Chair Reynolds, Regents, and Chancellor Gregory, the TBR University presidents, really appreciate your leadership for higher education in Tennessee and also your support for our institutions. Chancellor Gregory asked me to focus my remarks to represent the presidents in our efforts on the transition due to the passing of the FOCUS Act. So my remarks are not going to be nearly as fun or as inspiring, but I think they're important. We want you also to recognize that we know that we will continue to be accountable when we work for a different board. That board, those trustees, will be appointed by the governor with the same expectations for Tennessee that you have, and we embrace that. We also feel like you've set us up with those same expectations and that we are ready to fulfill our obligations going forward. All of our universities have transition teams in place, committees or task forces that are planning for this upcoming change in governance. They're examining policies, procedures, contracts, and services in light of the impending change. Faculty members are developing methods by which to determine how faculty trustees will be selected. Institutions are considering budget implications and such operational issues as technical needs for Board of Trustee meetings, including media, streaming, space, and those kinds of things. And we really appreciate our university, our General Counsel, Moody, and also Sonja Mason for offering to host a workshop on behalf of those who will be assuming responsibilities to care for and serve our new board as they serve this board. So topics that we're considering are things like governance, fiduciary responsibilities and accountability, board culture, roles and responsibilities of the board and the president. To that end, several universities have engaged national consultants to give insight into board relations and board operations. University leadership teams have been meeting with the Tennessee Higher Education Commission executive leadership to discuss how their and our responsibilities and processes will change. Our universities are considering ways that we can continue to collaborate together. That is important to us. It is no more important, it will be no less important going forward than it is now. We get synergy from one another. We get ideas from one another. We steal ideas from one another. And we talk to one another, not just in our own sector and not only as TBR institutions. We collaborate now with UT Martin and UT Chattanooga and UT Knoxville. We collaborate with our community college colleagues and with our TCAT colleagues. We know that we're in this for the same purpose, for the same reason. We have different missions in some cases, even within our sectors, but we know that our strength and what Tennessee has been able to do is because our strength is collective, and we will continue to collaborate because we know why we're here. And so we're looking for opportunities to put in some structures that will make those collaborations natural and easy. Of course, our institutional leaders have had dialogue with the Office of the Governor and various General Assembly members to give input on the Focus Act itself as it was being drafted. Monday, presidents and representatives from all of our institutions met with Dr. Bell Whelan, president of the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges, which is the accrediting body for all of our institutions. And we met with their vice presidents of the regional accrediting body to discuss the process to request approval for the substantive change. So regardless of what the legislature does and what is signed, nothing can really move forward without the approval of our regional accrediting body. And so they stand ready to help. Our institutions have already notified the SAC COC of the impending change, and each will have to submit a prospectus to SACS by September 1 in order for this request for change to become effective, or to be considered rather, by the full board of SAC COC in December. They only meet twice a year. So what we expect will happen, and what we're hoping will happen, is that the board will empower their executive committee to act in between meetings, so that, I mean, it's really clear that we won't know who the board is, the governor is recommending to be on our trustee list until fall, and those members won't be confirmed by the General Assembly until the spring. So what is expected is we will submit a prospectus without those names. As those names are known, they'll be given to SACS with their list of qualifications, and then the board will see those in December. When the General Assembly has had opportunity to act on those names, then the executive committee from SACS representing the board can take action. And so the institution's boards of trustees will need to convene within 30 days after the commission approves the request for substantive change. And then after the board convenes for the first time, those, each institution of those 6 institutions will have a site visit within 6 months by a review team representing the accrediting body. So this really is a big deal. We appreciate your assistance during this transition. We need you, and we also want to help our friends at the community college and TCATs as well, as they are taking their places really on the national stage for college completion. And so this time next year, we will be operating independently. It would be helpful for matters concerning academic affairs, academic programs, tuition and fees, and capital projects to be handled with some urgency. We can't wait. We can't just kind of go on a hiatus waiting for the next year. At the same time, we know that processes are laborious. I'm trying to get our own folks to focus, not a good term, but focus and get our things through committees a little faster than we have been able to in the past, to make sure that we don't have too much of a lag time. We also ask that maybe requested reports be reviewed for their importance and priority, given how TBR and university staff are all working on this transition. We recognize that we're all going to participate in some difficult discussions going forward. It is a little bit difficult, even though there are great opportunities that lie ahead, and those opportunities we're excited about. We know that we are all in it together for the right purpose, for the right reason, and for those students that just spoke to us. And I really believe that we all will be joined to do something really positive for the state of Tennessee. This is my last opportunity to give the President's report, and I just want to take a moment of personal privilege and thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve Austin Peay. I don't care what they say, I have the best job and the best opportunity in the state, and I am forever grateful to you for allowing me that opportunity and that privilege. Thank you.
Thank you. We are forever grateful to you for taking us up on the offer.
Thank
so we're just glad you're home in Tennessee, right where you belong.
That's exactly
right.
right.
So absolutely. Before you go, question to Regent Deaton as the head of THEC. Anything you'd like to comment on or reflect on based on Dr. White's remarks? We know there is a prodigious amount of work taking place right now.
There is, and thus far, we've had great meetings with campus leadership. We've gone through 3 of the 6 TBR universities where our executive team is sitting down with theirs, just to really, first duty is to listen and to find out what is on their minds, and also to talk through with each of them the role of THEC going forward, the role of the institution going forward, and how the Focus Act calls on us to do certain things and to devolve certain things to them. It is a process, as Dr. White said, and it's one that will pose some difficult decisions for all of us. But as I was remarking with Dr. Rhoda a few weeks ago, who's got a long history in this state, no structure matters if the people don't trust each other and work together. And I think that's, I don't mean that to sound hokey, because but it's just true. Yeah. And so I think no matter what decisions we're faced with, as long as those trust relationships are there, then this will work. And so we're looking forward to not having islands, but having still a cohesive ecosystem of higher education in the state. That's what the governor has asked all of us to do, and I know that's what the universities are committed to doing, as is this board and as is UT. So we are anxious to get the work on with us, and we've begun that process and look forward to the next year and a half as we go through this.
Thank you, and we appreciate your steady leadership as well. Regent Griscom.
Thank you. As we talked yesterday about vice chancellors for both our community colleges and TCATs meeting and trying to work through issues and making sure, Chancellor, we get that, I would hope as you all work through yours, because you're going to continue having relationships with the community colleges and TCATs, that we benefit as well as regents from the things that you're identifying. If you look at different ways that you want to interact with the institutions that remain part of TBR, it would be helpful, I think, to us to sort of understand your all's approach. If there's some things you say, this might be more useful now, so that we are aware of that. And as we're thinking through our new role and our new direction, that we benefit from your all's work as well. So I just wanted to share that.
Communicate, certainly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Regent Griscom. Anyone else? Chancellor, any closing comments? Thank you. Well done.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you saying our strength is in our collective nature. That's
Absolutely.
hugely important.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well done as always. And as was referenced earlier, our thanks to our governor for the vision with Tennessee Promise, Tennessee Reconnect, the Focus Act, and most importantly, as Chrissy said, this culture change that's occurring around higher education in our state. It is a very exciting time. We do not have any unfinished business to come before the board today, so we will move to new business. And the first item for the board's action is to consider the criteria for the chancellor of the Tennessee Board of Regents. As all of us know, it was January 21st that we appointed David as our acting chancellor. And as I referenced earlier, we are all deeply grateful. We pulled him out of retirement. He never quite made it out the door. Delayed his retirement, shall we say, to serve in this interim role, and for that we are profoundly grateful. It is now time, however, for the board to turn our time and attention to begin the search process for a chancellor. And the first step in that process is the draft criteria that you have been presented for this meeting. Do you all have any questions or comments regarding the criteria at all? If not, do we have a motion to approve the draft criteria as presented? Regent Griscom, thank you. Thank you, Regent Smith. A second. Any further discussion? If not, we need a voice vote on this matter. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you very much. Now that we have approved our criteria, we will go through next steps, working once again with Greenwood Asher on the search process, putting the search committee together, and working toward the ultimate goal of finding ourselves an excellent new chancellor for our Tennessee Board of Regents. This one is a little bittersweet with an upcoming retirement, but we have a second set of criteria to approve today as well.
And thank you, Madam Chairman. President Bruce Blanding of Jackson State Community College has announced his plans to retire effective January 31st of 2017. Quit smiling, Bruce. We're seeing you. You have before you today the draft criteria for the next president of Jackson State Community College. And unless the board has an objection, it's my plan to seek the help of the executive search firm of Greenwood Asher to assist us in finding the next leader for Jackson State. So, Madam Chairman, unless there are any changes, I respectfully ask approval to proceed with the proposed criteria for the next president of Jackson State Community College.
Motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Regent Thomas. Second, Regent Griscom? Did I get you? Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, voice vote once again. All in favor of the approval of the criteria for the presidency at Jackson State, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. And we will have another search underway very soon. And Dr. Blanding, we will see you again, I know. So we will save our good thoughts for you in the next meeting to come. Thank you, though, for everything. Our next item is the report from yesterday's meeting of the Finance and Business Operations Committee. Regent Duckett.
Thank you, Madam Chair. After multiple meetings over the last 6 months, the committee report before you takes into account the financial conditions of our institutions and include recommendations on maintenance fees and tuition and budgets. Before I summarize the committee report, I'd like to ask Chancellor Gregory for any comments that he might have at this time.
Thank you, Chairman Duckett, and I think I just want to express my appreciation to you and to the staff and to the members of the committee for your time and diligent effort in working through these proposals over the last few months. I'm continued to be so impressed with the level of dedication and seriousness which you take this task, and so I'm grateful and appreciate the time and effort you put in.
Thank you, Chancellor. As a reminder to the board, the maintenance fee recommendations vary by institutions and range from a low of 2.3% at the University of Memphis to a high of 3% at East Tennessee State University, College of Medicine, and College of Pharmacy. The recommendation for community colleges is an increase of 2.6%, with a 2.8% increase recommended for our Tennessee Colleges of Applied Technology. We estimate this raises $24.6 million that will be used by the institutions to fund priority needs. As part of the committee report, you have been provided with operating budgets for the system totaling $3.02 billion for fiscal year 2015-16 and $2.99 billion for fiscal year 2016-17, which were recommended for approval at yesterday's committee meeting. This budget is based on the level of state funding recommended in the governor's proposed budget, as well as early estimates of factors such as enrollment growth, research activity, and availability of federal funds. The full effect of the approved fee increases and any enrollment changes will be included in the October revised budget. Madam Chair, as committee chair, I move that the board approve the report of the June 23, 2016 meeting of the Committee of Finance and Business Operations, which includes consent agenda items, tuition and fee recommendations for 2016-17, rate related to dual enrollment, and the operating budgets for fiscal year 2015-16 and 2016-17 as presented.
Thank you for the motion. We require a second.
Second.
Thank you, Regent Thomas. Is there any discussion on the report of the Finance and Business Operations Committee? Hearing none, this does require a roll call vote. Madam Secretary?
Regent Apple?
Aye.
Regent Duckett?
Aye.
Regent Farwell?
Aye.
Regent Freeman?
Aye.
Regent Griscom?
Aye.
Regent Markham?
Aye.
Regent Prescott?
Aye.
Regent Reynolds?
Aye.
Regent Roddy?
Aye.
Regent Russell?
Aye.
Regent Shockey?
Aye.
Regent Smith? Regent Templeton?
Aye.
Regent Thomas?
Aye.
Regent Varlin?
Aye.
The motion carries.
Thank you. And just a postscript to the Chancellor and his team and the Finance Committee. tuition and maintenance fees, tough decisions every year. We go through an extremely laborious but productive process, and to all of you, thank you for the seriousness with which you take it. So thank you all. We also have from yesterday's meeting a report from the Personnel and Compensation Committee meeting. That includes faculty promotion increases and approval of compensation plan recommendations for the system. Regent Roddy, as chairman of that committee, would you present your report, please?
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. The Personnel and Compensation Committee met in regular session yesterday to review and recommend approval of the following items: President Emeritus contracts, tenure and promotions, recommendations for universities, community colleges, and Tennessee Colleges of Applied Technology, faculty promotional increases, revisions to the TBR policy on faculty rank and promotion at THEX, institutional requests for new and amended compensation plans, and system compensation strategies. As the committee chair, I move that the board approve the report of the June 23rd, 2016 meeting of the Committee on Personnel and Compensation as presented.
Thank you, sir. A second, please.
Second.
Thank you, Regent Thomas. Any discussion? Hearing none, this also requires a roll call vote. Mary Moody.
Regent Apple.
Aye.
Regent Duckett. Aye. Regent Farwell.
Aye.
Regent Freeman. Aye. Regent Griscom.
Aye.
Regent Markham.
Aye.
Regent Prescott.
Aye.
Regent Reynolds.
Aye.
Regent Roddy.
Aye.
Regent Russell.
Aye.
Regent Shockey. Regent Smith. Aye. Regent Templeton.
Aye.
Regent Thomas.
Aye.
Regent Barlin.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you, Regent Roddy, for your good work.
Thank
you, sir. We have a request for a building renaming from Middle Tennessee State University, and I will call on Chancellor Gregory.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chairman. President Sidney McPhee has requested that the board consider renaming the building that houses the university's Army Reserve Officers Training Corps program, Forrest Hall. In October of 2015, President McPhee created a task force to study whether a name change was necessary for Forrest Hall, which is named for a Confederate cavalryman, Lieutenant General Nathan Bedford Forrest. The task force conducted several public forums and then deliberated at length on the various issues concerning the name of the building. Ultimately, the task force recommended to President McPhee that the name General Forrest be removed from the building and that the building be called the ROTC building. Madam Chairman, if it pleases the members of the board, I would now like to call on President McPhee for comments about the process that took place regarding the name change.
Thank you, Chancellor. Madam Vice Chair, members of the board, Chancellor Gregory, fellow colleagues, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak on this recommendation. Following the tragic shootings at the historically black church in Charleston, South Carolina in June of last year, our state and our campus, like many around the country, saw a renewed interest in an open debate on this issue of the Civil War imagery and the recognition of those who had played a role in the history of the South. At MTSU, that discussion quickly focused on the appropriateness of the name associated with our ROTC building, General Nathan Bedford Forrest. This was not a new debate, but one that had been discussed during my 15 years tenure at least 2 or 3 times on our campus by our students and alumni and our community. Now, while previous discussion had been short-lived and were not seen as major issues for our campus, the tragic events of Charleston brought a new awareness and heightened interest from across our campus and the Murfreesboro community. I believe that this was an issue that deserved to be debated and discussed, but wanted to be mindful that it be done appropriately and with broad input from the university community and the community at large. To facilitate this discussion, as Chancellor Gregory mentioned, I established a task force of 15 representatives from our student body, alumni, faculty. Regent Farwell was a member of that committee, and also from members from the broader community. This group was charged with the collection of information, listening to the concerns of interested parties on both sides of the debate, and making a recommendation to me on a course of action. Guiding this group was a distinguished member of our faculty, who's an alumnus, and whose academic expertise is in war and the manner in which wars and the participants are memorialized and honored. Additionally, the committee had the expertise and guidance of the state historian, one of our faculty members, Dr. Carol Van West. The task force held a series of meetings from late fall until early spring on our campus and also in the community, where those supporting and those opposing a name could have their say and be heard. The meetings were at times contentious and not always respectful of individual positions, but the task force was able to hear the concerns of those in attendance. Now, following the deliberations, the committee recommended to me that the name of Nathan Bedford Forrest be removed from our TC building. I should note that the decision was not unanimous, and there was strong dissent from a minority on the task force. In considering their recommendation, Regents, I found myself asking the question, would the university of today, the 21st century, make the same decision on naming of the building that was made in 1958 during the 20th century? In 2016, we are a different institution compared to the 1950s. In 1958, we were Middle Tennessee College with 2,539 students, the vast majority who came from the mid-state region. In 2016, we're Middle Tennessee State University. We're a very diverse institution with approximately 23,000 students and over 115,000 alumni representing every state in the union and in the country and around the world. We are truly a global citizen, and our actions should reflect the global community that we now serve. Also, I was struck by the fact that using the criteria established and utilized by this board, our Board of Regents, today, General Forrest would not be eligible to have his name placed on any building on our campus. And this, in fact, is the only building named on our campus for an individual with no direct connection to the university. Therefore, I've accepted the recommendation of the task force to remove the name Forest from the ROTC building, and I'm formally submitting it, and I have, to you as Regents for your consideration. Now, subject to your approval, I'm requesting that the building be called the Army ROTC building. And in making this request, I would add that there are wide-ranging and contradicting views of the life and legacy of Forrest, General Forrest, and my request does not reflect a position on the appropriateness of General Forrest's legacy. And this is not an effort, ladies and gentlemen, to change or erase history. In fact, the only history that this will change is the notation on his Wikipedia page that there is a building at MTSU named for him. I do believe, however, that this offers an opportunity for a teachable moment, allowing us to reflect on our past and learn from our history. Currently, while named in his honor, this building, there's no reference to the general beyond the last name and a plaque on the lawn in this building. So to assure that the future generations can learn from this chapter in our campus history, I have asked our state historian, our distinguished faculty member, Dr. Carol Van West, to develop a historical timeline of the life of General Forrest to be housed in our Gore Center. This will allow future generations to study the man and make their own evaluations of his accomplishments and his shortcomings. I greatly appreciate your consideration of this request, members of the board, and I'm available for any questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, President McPhee, for laying out that very thoughtful approach of both your thoughts and the task force. Any questions or comments at this juncture? If not, I would like to call on our General Counsel, Mary Moody. Explain, should we take an action here in the next few minutes, then what are the next steps in this process so we're all fully informed?
During the last session of the General Assembly, while MTSU was going through the hearing process and considering what they were going to do, the General Assembly passed what has become known as the Tennessee Heritage Protection Act of 2016. It's Public Chapter 601, and it prohibits the removal of a name, a historic name, from a memorial as they define it in Tennessee. And this building falls within their definition of a memorial. The act provides that the public entity exercising control of a memorial, which in this case I believe would be MTSU, subject to your approval, may petition the Tennessee Historical Commission for a waiver of this prohibition. And there's a process set forth in the act that involves, prior to filing notice, the public entity has to file notice in the paper and on their website that they intend to file a petition to change the name. After they've given that notice, they file the petition with the Tennessee Historical Commission. Interested parties have an opportunity to then file their notice of their interest with the Tennessee Historical Commission, and the Historical Commission holds no sooner than 60 days after the petition is filed, holds an initial meeting, and they may require more notice to be published if they think specific groups should be notified of the intention to change. And then no sooner than 180 days after the filing of the petition may the Tennessee Historical Commission hold a final hearing on it. The final hearing involves the opportunity for any parties interested in the proposed change to come and present their views. And then if clear and convincing evidence of the appropriateness of the name change or removal is presented to the commission, and they find that by 2/3 vote of the commission, then the name may be removed. So your action here today is based on our policy that gives the board control over naming buildings for individuals, and we interpret that to include removing the names of individuals. When this building was named, this system didn't even exist, so it was just named. But at this point in time, your action would be more in the nature of authorizing the MTSU to then follow the procedures that are set forth in the Tennessee Heritage Protection Act of 2016 to seek permission from the Tennessee Historical Commission to remove the name.
Thank you for that explanation. Any questions? If not, I'd like to turn it back to the Chancellor.
Madam Chairman, we can provide opportunity for questions. I just wanted to, first of all, express my appreciation to the approach in which Dr. McPhee took. We won't always agree, but we always can have voices, and by bringing voices on both sides of a difficult issue, I appreciate his approach. And I know we're about to open for questions, but Madam Chairman, if the board's so inclined, I request the approval to rename the building at Middle Tennessee State University the ROTC building.
Regent Duckett.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, sir. Second motion from Regent Duckett, second from Regent Freeman. Thank you very much. Any further discussion? This is to accept the Chancellor's recommendation, and this is a voice vote as well. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. We now move on to a building naming request from Walters State Community College, and I once again call on our Chancellor.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. It brings me great pleasure to bring this naming request before you today. As many of you already know, and for others it will be soon clearer, the legacy of service by the honoree of this building name is well-deserving. On May 4th of this year, a request came forth from Walters State Community College to name the Student Services Building on the main campus in honor of Dr. Wade B. McCamey. The ad hoc committee, facilities naming committee at Walters State considered various naming possibilities that have placed a significant emphasis on student success at Walters State. The name that came forward for the board's consideration was Dr. Wade B. McCamey Student Services Building. In a few minutes, you will hear more about Dr. McCamey's career in the resolution of appreciation that is to be presented. But for the moment, I want to highlight what he has done for student services and student success at Walters State. Just 1 year after Dr. McCamey was appointed president at Walters State, the college opened the Walters State Student Success Center in 2006. The center was combined several of the college's student support services in one location. The concept for a one-stop shop for student affairs services was eventually expanded to an entire building with the opening of the Student Services Building in 2011. In addition to improving student success through enhanced support services, the college became nationally recognized for its use of mobile learning under Dr. McCamey's tenure. Walters State has been named the Apple Distinguished Program 3 times for its innovative use of technology to engage students and to improve learning outcomes. Also, under Dr. McCamey's leadership, the college has consistently ranked near the top among the nation's most tech-savvy community colleges and is currently ranked 2nd in the nation among mid-sized community colleges by eRepublic Center's digital education for its use of technology and digital services to improve academic services. We're grateful for the work he's accomplished at Walters State and the community, and he is being commended on a job well done. On June 30th of this year, he will retire, and I'm honored to request approval for naming the Walters State Community College Student Services Building located on the Morristown campus, soon to be known as the Dr. Wade B. McCamey Student Services Building.
Any comments or questions? May we have, Regent Thomas?
No, I was going to make the motion.
Please, thank you.
I move that we approve the resolution.
Thank you, sir. A second? Thank you, Regent Smith. Any discussion at this point? Hearing none, again, a roll call vote. All in favor of naming the Student Services Building in honor of President Wade McCamey, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. Now, Dr. McCamey, you stay put for just one more minute here. At this point in time, and this is a bittersweet moment, but we do have a resolution of appreciation for Dr. McCamey's distinguished service. Regent Varlin?
Yes, it is my honor and privilege this morning to make a resolution of appreciation for the service of Dr. Wade B. McCamey to the Tennessee Board of Regents. Whereas Dr. Wade B. McCamey has 33 years of service with the Tennessee Board of Regents system, including 4 years as president of Roane State Community College and 11 years as president of Walter State Community College. And whereas during his tenure as president of Roane State Community College from 2001 to 2005, the college became the only public institution of higher education in Tennessee to achieve a perfect score for 3 consecutive years on the Tennessee Higher Education Commission's performance funding standards. And whereas under his leadership, Roane State developed a new permanent off-campus center in Campbell County. And whereas during his presidency of Walter State Community College from 2005 to 2016, the college developed programs and services focused on student success and engagement, including the Student Success Center, which combined several of the college's support services into one location. And whereas under President McCamey's leadership, Walter State experienced growth in facilities. He oversaw the construction of 2 new beautiful buildings at the Sevier County campus, the relocation of the Claiborne County campus into a renovated former high school building, a $6 million renovation of the Walter State East Tennessee Regional Public Safety Building, and the development of a equestrian center of the Great Smoky Mountains Expo Center, the development of a workforce training facility, and the expansion of the Greenville-Greene County campus. And whereas for the past 11 years, Walter State has been recognized nationally for its innovative use of technology, the college has been ranked as high as 2nd in the nation among mid-sized community colleges by eRepublic Center for Digital Education for its use of technology to improve academic services. And Walter State has been named an Apple Distinguished Program for its mobile learning initiative. And whereas President McCamey was awarded the prestigious Shirley B. Gordon Award of Distinction for 2014 from the Phi Theta Kappa National Honor Society, and whereas under his leadership, Walter State was named to the Chronicle for Higher Education's annual list of great colleges to work for. Now therefore be it resolved that the Tennessee Board of Regents expresses its sincere appreciation to Dr. Wade B. McCamey for his outstanding contributions and leadership to the system and wish him the very best in his retirement. If I could have a point of personal privilege just to say to you, Dr. McCamey, how grateful and appreciative I am for all you have done for Walter State and for how kind you have been personally to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are you offering your resolution in the form of a
Yes,
motion?
I would like to hear a motion.
Thank
Yes,
you,
yes.
Regent
I'll give
Varlin. We have a motion
yes.
on the floor. I need a second.
Second.
Thank you, Regent Smith. A second. Any discussion? This requires a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That was close. Dr. McCamey, please make your way to the podium so we may thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, or Vice Chair. Thank you for this opportunity to speak, but more importantly, thank you for your excellent work in leading and directing one of the most progressive higher education systems through the support, the members of the work of you and the board of higher education in this nation. To the central staff, I want to say thank you to Chancellor Gregory, to Vice Chancellor Nichols, to former Chancellor John Morgan, to Vice Chancellor James King, Vice Chancellor Dale Sims, to Dick Tracy, to Jonah, and to Sandra. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for your understanding and your leadership during a period of rapid change among all of the other, and also thanks the other highly skilled individuals working at the Board of Regents. It has been a privilege to serve as president of Walter State for the past 11 years. And as Dr. Boyer so accurately stated a moment ago, it has been a team effort. 3 of those team members are with me today. 2 are also retiring with me, along with my administrative assistant, Brenda Small, is also retiring next week. But I would especially like for Dr. Foster Chasen and Dr. Rosemary Jackson to be allowed to stand, because it's individuals like them, and also Dr. Mark Hurst, who will be replacing Dr. Jackson, if they could stand just for a moment and be recognized as well. But the team has been incredible. It also includes Dr. Lori Campbell, Dr. Deborah Scott, and Mr. J.B. Pechtel. Next Tuesday, the building that you have named on my behalf, inside the building, the International Lyceum, will be named after Dr. Chasen, and the cashier's office area will be named after Dr. Jackson. So let's show our appreciation for some excellent work by these individuals. Also, I would be remiss if I did not mention the tremendous faculty and staff we have at Walter State. I'm very appreciative to all they have done. And also to those individuals who have been so kind to share their resources with Walter State. In the $1 million range, we have people like Wilma Maples, Jesse Cates, Mary Ruth Cutshaw, Ray and Barbara Bible, and maybe just the largest gift ever by an individual to a community college in the form of Mr. Scott Niswanger, who has gifted over $5 million to our institution. So to those individuals, thank you. One teachable moment, with your permission, Madam Chair. You mentioned that we're known for technology. Most of you may not be aware, unless you have read the book by Jim Clifton entitled The Coming Job War. Mr. Clifton, by the way, is chairman of the Gallup World Poll. And at one time, they primarily polled people living in the United States. But they now, through the aid of technology, have the ability to poll the world. And in their first attempt to poll the world of what the 7 billion people in the world predominantly were focused upon and concerned about, the primary will of the world was no longer about peace, no longer about freedom or even democracy. It was not about having a family. It was neither about God nor about owning a home or owning land. The number one will of the people of the world was to have a good job. And in order to have a good job, you must have a great education. This, in my opinion, validates what the Tennessee Board of Regents is doing, and is doing mightily well. So thank you for that. On a personal note, and in closing, the Roman poet Ovid, over 2,000 years ago, wrote that one of the true experiences in life, if you wanted to achieve ecstasy, was to live in obscurity. After 48 years in the public view, my desire is to live the rest in obscurity. I want to have time at Pristine Point, my new retirement home in the country, time for reading about the cosmos, for writing time. Thank you, good fortune, and goodbye.
Thank you. Oh, don't stay right there, Dr. McCamey, for just a minute for me. But yeah, here we go. Here you go. Stay right there. Very well said. Chancellor Gregory, I think, has some comments.
Yes, and thank you, Madam Chairman, for the opportunity to comment. This may take just a minute, but I just would like to ask Rosemary Jackson and Paul at the stage, please. Didn't mean to catch you guys by surprise, but this is a moment in time. And as Dr. McCamey described, as he retires, also Dr. Jackson, Dr. Chazen are retiring as well. This represents the best of who we are. We talk about 50 years of community college experience. The way that this team approached their work, the longevity which they have, it doesn't take but just a minute or two to walk on the campus of Walter State Community College and see the benefit of what these individuals have done. They have grown up in our system. They have contributed mightily to our system. They're going to be greatly missed, and they just represent the best of who we are, and I wanted the board to see that.
Beautifully said. Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you all. Dr. McCamey, we will see you at Pristine Point. It sounds lovely. So, and you are a poet, and I didn't realize that, so all the best.
And I still have your cell phone.
Oh, that's right, that's right. All the best. Wow, what a legacy for you three. It's amazing. We're so proud of you. Another bittersweet moment as we offer a resolution of appreciation to our faculty regent, Dr. Tricia Farwell. Regent Thomas?
Thank you, Vice Chair Reynolds. I'd like to make 2 points of personal privilege before I read the formal resolution. One, the several years I've served, several years I've served on this board, I've seen approximately 10 faculty regents come through our system. And I would like to say to Dr. Farwell that she is among the very absolute best faculty regents that we have had in the 11 years I've been on this board, and appreciate your service for 1 year. My second personal point is that I would like to encourage our state legislature to change the law that allows our student and faculty regents to serve only 1 year. They really do just get to know the ropes and get to really be of service, and I would like to make a public appeal to our legislature to change that law, as is, I think, the case with some of the other educational commissions. With that, I will now read the formal resolution. A resolution of appreciation for the service of Dr. Tricia Farwell as faculty regent for the Tennessee Board of Regents. Whereas the Tennessee Board of Regents in regular session at Northeast State Community College in Blountville, Tennessee, wishes to express its sincere appreciation to Dr. Tricia Farwell for her service as faculty regent. And whereas she was appointed to this position by the Honorable Bill Haslam, Governor of the State of Tennessee, for the 2015-2016 academic year, and whereas she has fulfilled her responsibilities in an exemplary manner by contributing to the governance of the institutions within the purview of the board, by sharing her concerns for the faculty within the board system and for educational quality, and whereas she has provided leadership, guidance, expertise to the board in the areas of articulation and student life, and has represented her colleagues and students of the TBR system with unwavering and distinguished service, and whereas Governor Haslam appointed Dr. Farwell to serve as a faculty representative on the steering committee for the Focus on College and University Success, known as the FOCUS Act, Transition Task Force, and whereas she actively devoted her time and attention to the deliberations within the Committee on Academic Policies and Programs and the Committee on Workforce Development, whereas during her tenure with the board, she unfailingly fulfilled her responsibilities through active participation in board deliberations and contributed greatly to the governance of the system. And whereas she is an individual of high integrity and wisdom with a sincere interest in the welfare of the Tennessee Board of Regents system and Tennessee higher education, and whereas her tenure has been marked by selfless support of the system and a number of its individual institutions. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Tennessee Board of Regents system expresses its sincere appreciation to Dr. Tricia Farwell for her dedication and contributions to the board and its institutions, and extends best wishes to her in all future pursuits. And I so move, Madam Vice Chair.
Thank you. We need a second, please. Second from Regent Duckett. Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, a voice vote, please. All in favor of the resolution of approval for Dr. Farwell, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Thank you. You are amazing. Any comments, please?
Yeah, just a few. Thank you so much. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve on the board. To be honest with you, it was never even on my radar, and it kind of took me by surprise, and I don't think I could ever express my gratitude for being allowed to be on here and have a voice for the faculty. It means so much. I would like to just tell everyone that you've been all a delight to work with across the TBR system. I've learned so much that I'm going to take forward as I hopefully get into administration and switch over to the dark side, but that's a whole other story. I'd like to thank President McPhee for his support and for supporting faculty shared governance. Without him, we wouldn't be where we are, and it's just wonderful to have that kind of support and structure. And on behalf of the faculty, I would like to thank all of you for everything that you do and for how you look out for us and for our students. Thank you.
Thank you. As Regent Thomas said, this has been a very special year having you with us, so it's remarkable. We thank you. So, and please don't be a stranger. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. And now we move on to a resolution of appreciation for our very own Energizer Bunny, Mr. Nick Russell. And I believe Regent Smith will offer the resolution today.
Yes, thank you, Vice Chair Reynolds. It's my privilege and honor to deliver a resolution of appreciation for the service of Mr. Nick Russell as Student Regent for the Tennessee Board of Regents. Whereas the Tennessee Board of Regents in regular session at Northeast State Community College in Blounteville, Tennessee, wishes to express its sincere appreciation to Mr. Nick Russell for his dedicated and valuable service as Student Regent. And whereas Mr. Russell was appointed Student Regent by the Honorable Bill Haslam, Governor of the State of Tennessee, for the 2015-2016 academic year, and as such he has been an instrument of positive and effective change. And whereas Mr. Russell's contributions to higher education are commendable and have included providing insight on important issues concerning legislation impacting students and student life on TBR campuses, and whereas he has used his experiences and unique perspective to devote considerable time and effort as a member of the Committee on Academic Policies and Programs and the Finance and Business Operations Committee. And whereas during his tenure with the board, Mr. Russell unfailingly fulfilled his responsibilities through active and eager participation in board deliberations and contributed greatly to the governance of the system. And whereas he is an individual of high integrity and wisdom with truly a sincere interest in the welfare of the Tennessee Board of Regents system and Tennessee higher education. And whereas his tenure has been marked by selfless support of the system and a number of its individual institutions, now therefore be it resolved that the Tennessee Board of Regents expresses its sincerest appreciation to Mr. Nick Russell for his dedication and many contributions to the Tennessee Board of Regents system. And if I might take a moment of personal comment, Nick has been an exceptional student member. We have been blessed with student members, but he has been an exceptional student representative to our Board of Regents. I'm amazed he's a full-time Shining Star student at Tennessee Tech. He's a husband and father. Our future is truly in great hands with students like Mr. Nick Russell. So our sincerest appreciation and our best wishes as you continue on your endeavors. I conclude my comments.
Thank you very much. So we have your motion pending in
Yes.
this resolution of
I move.
appreciation. May I have a second? Thank you, Regent Varlin. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you, Nick. You are amazing. Your comments, please.
Well, thanks for the resolution. I know that was certainly a mouthful. This has been a really formative experience. As I get older, I'm only 20, but as I get older and learn, I'm constantly reminded of my ignorance and how much I have to learn, especially for people who are older than me. And I wanted to share 3 lessons that I've learned from this board. The first one, I thought as people got older and more successful, they got busier and more stingy with their time. But from you all, I've actually learned that people become more generous with their time, their wisdom, and their kindness, and many of you have been very generous to me. I thought that people became more serious, but from you I've learned they become a lot more fun and silly, especially in the hospitality suite. You guys have really been a lot of fun. And third, I thought as you become more successful, you could be drawn farther away from your vision, but from you guys I learned that you become much more focused and dedicated to your vision and values. This has made a long-lasting impact on my life and on my goals for the future, and I'm really thankful for the clarity that you all have provided as I'm looking forward. Again, very grateful for this experience and hope I can find ways to interact with the board in the future. Thanks.
Absolutely. How well put. Thank you. You have honored us with your kind words. And absolutely do not be a stranger. And we will watch your career and your life, as Regent Smith said, with enormous interest. So we're just proud to know you. Thank you. At this juncture, I would like to turn the gavel over, so to speak, to Regent Thomas.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. It is my privilege to act as the acting Vice Chair for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to elect our Vice Chair for the following year. In the past, we've had to suspend the bylaws because of term limits in our bylaws, but we amended the bylaws last year, so we no longer have term limits. So as an explanation, we don't need to suspend our bylaws this time, and I will now entertain a motion from Regent Griscom for the election of our Vice Chair.
I move that we re-elect Emily Reynolds as the Vice Chair of the Board of Regents.
I think I hear 17 seconds. That being the case, any further discussion? If not, all in favor, this requires a voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. The motion carries unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's just a great honor to know you all, and I appreciate your confidence and your faith in me and look forward to our next year together. We have a lot of work to do, so thank you all so much. Chancellor Gregory, your closing announcements and comments, please.
Yes, ma'am, and thank you and congratulations. Just a couple of things as we as we close. First, my sincere appreciation to Dr. Gilliam and all of the staff at Northeast State Community College for a well-planned, well-executed board session. It does not go unnoticed by the people in this horseshoe the amount of time, effort, and planning that goes into an event like this. But your campus showed well in the last couple of days, and I'm very grateful to each of you. On a sad note, we're saying goodbye to our communications director, Monica Greppin-Watts. And Monica is leaving us to go to the University of Alabama. She has a wonderful opportunity there. And as I have told her privately, I want to say to each of you publicly, she is the top communications person that I have encountered in my very long career. She is very dedicated to the Board of Regents system. It was a very tough decision for Monica to leave. So much of the success that we've had over the last 5 years is directly related to her sincere dedication to making sure that people are communicated with, to make sure they understand not just what we're doing, but why we're doing what we're doing. She will be greatly missed. I have extended an offer and have been accepted by Rick Locker to come into the Board of Regents Central Office to replace Monica. Rick has been the reporter for the Memphis Commercial Appeal for the last 34 years and will make also a great addition to our office. And finally, Madam Chairman, Just like Dr. Gilliam, I can't leave this session without thanking Sonja Mason and Matthew Gann, Jonah Capola, Pat Massey, all of the people who work so hard to prepare us for this session, and just a tremendous job well done. Thank you for the ability to comment.
Thank you. And may we take a moment just to signal the board's thanks to Miss Monica, headed to Tuscaloosa. We appreciate you. You will be missed. And Rick Locker, as good as he is, has big shoes to fill, but we welcome him as well. I think at this hour, we have completed our business for the day. Once again, I just want to underscore our thanks to Northeast State. It's occurred to me as we've been here over the last couple of days, that slogan of "we're here to get you there," you all live it each and every day. When I listened to that video this morning, and Alex, who was one of your first students, talked about coming here because he needed to make a living, raise a family, get a job in this region, and the opportunity to watch industry grow. Hearing Victoria's comments about coming here and realizing that she could live the American dream. You have remained true to that mission for 50 years, and we are so excited about the possibilities for the next 50 years at Northeast State and across our system. So this has been a very special visit. You have grown from that sinkhole out front with foxes playing into something that has been pretty amazing to witness over these last couple of days. Folks, we will next gather. We will see you in September, as the song says. We will next gather on the campus of Chattanooga State, September 14 and 15. Look forward to seeing you there. And as we adjourn, I know we will all hear the Orange Blossom Special all the way home. So safe travels. We are adjourned.
Another great job.
Thank you.